When we fall in love, some part of us is always hoping we've finally met the person we're going to spend the rest of our lives with. That's why it's so hard for us to make up our minds about whether or not we should leave a relationship when we no longer feel happy. We're always holding out hope that things might get better somehow. On the other hand, however, it's difficult to know for certain if your feelings for someone really have changed, or if you and your partner are just going through a rough patch. After all, you wouldn't want to give up on someone and throw everything you have with them just to spend the rest of your life wondering if you made a mistake. With that said, here are 7 telltale signs that you are falling out of love with your partner. 1. You notice more of their flaws. When you first fall in love, you can't help but adore all the little quirks that made them who they are, like their need to win at everything or correct other people's grammar all the time. But as your feelings start to fade, so does your fondness for their so-called quirks. All the things you used to find so endearing are now starting to get on your nerves. Their flaws become harder to ignore, and you find yourself feeling more irritable around them. It's a subtle shift in your attitude towards them, but it's also an early warning that you may be falling out of love with your partner. 2. You don't communicate as much. Whenever you're having a bad day or just received some great news, your partner was always the first person you wanted to tell, right? They were your favorite person to talk to, and some days you felt like you could just sit and chat with them for hours on end about everything on your mind. But lately, you don't feel like talking to them much anymore, and you're not as open as you used to be with each other. You talk to your friends more than with them because you feel like you can't speak your mind anymore around them. Take this as a definite sign that you and your partner may be growing apart. 3. You spend less time with them. Have you stopped enjoying their company and stopped trying to make plans with them because honestly, you're starting to love being away from them more than being around them? Do you hardly go on dates now because of how dull or uncomfortable things have gotten between you two? When you find yourself wanting to spend less time with your partner, it might be an indicator you're falling out of love with them. And though there was once a time when all you wanted to do was spend time with this person, you just can't seem to remember what that felt like. 4. You feel more attracted to other people. Do you find yourself feeling more attracted towards someone other than you do to your own partner? Is it just an innocent little crush, some harmless flirting with someone you find attractive? Or is it giving you more joy and excitement than your current relationship? If so, then it's time for you to reevaluate your feelings for this person. Because when you're really in love with someone, they're the only person you want to be with. You don't find yourself thinking about anyone else when you're with them, and you certainly don't nurture a casual flirtation more than your own relationship. 5. You stop picturing a future with them. One of the greatest things about falling in love with someone is that you look forward to building a future with them. You think about how you're going to celebrate your anniversaries, what trips you should go on together, and ask each other serious questions about commitment and even marriage when you reach a certain age. So if you find yourself suddenly no longer able to picture a future with your partner in it, then there's definitely trouble in paradise, because it shows that you no longer feel like this relationship is meant to last, and that you are entertaining the possibility of no longer having this person in your life in the years to come. 6. You stop prioritizing your relationship. Do you frequently forget about your dates and other important plans with them? Do you cancel on them at the last minute and spend all your time focusing on your work, studies, or other relationships? When you stop making your relationship a priority in your life, it means that you no longer value it. You're not willing to compromise with them, make sacrifices for them, or set aside time for them because you're already falling out of love with them. You don't feel lucky to be with them anymore, and you've stopped seeing your relationship with them as special. 7. You've lost respect for them. Finally, but perhaps most importantly, losing respect for your partner is a sure enough sign that you've fallen out of love with them. In any relationship, respect is every bit as crucial as love, because it often comes hand in hand with trust, care, and support. Maybe you found that they lied to you and betrayed your trust, or broke one promise too many. Whatever the reason may be, it's made you apathetic towards your partner, and driven a wedge between you fear you might never recover from. Because the moment you lose respect for someone is the moment you realize you no longer have any second chances left to give. If you find that you relate to any of the signs mentioned here, then it might be time to make a decision. Leave the relationship or try to patch things up between you and your significant other.